Normandy. Its chalk cliffs, bright green meadows, and local produce. And not forgetting Normandy cider. Guillaume Capelle has brewed farmhouse cider for the past 10 years. It all starts here in his orchards with a skillful assembling of different varieties of apples following the tradition of his ancestors.
Basically, the former owner had found a really good balance, so we're following it to the letter.
Lots of different apples.
Almost a dozen different varieties.
And no chemicals for the upkeep of his 20 hectares of apple trees. Guillaume has learned to adapt to the whims of Mother Nature.
Last year, this orchard was a disaster zone. A northeasterly wind 2 weeks running ruined everything. I spent 2 whole days scraping up just 4 tons of apples, when normally I get up to 50 or 60 tons.
Guillaume has used his apples to diversify his business. He now produces another emblematic elixir of Normandy, Calvados. This morning at the farm, the air is filled with the sweet fumes of alcohol. A traveling distiller is here to magically transform Guillaume's crop.
Your good health, Guillaume.
So far, it's merely warming the taste buds.
Strong stuff.
That's why I'm using a tasting glass, to get the bouquet rather than the effects. I'd be able to smell any defects if there were any.
No, there aren't any.
So, no defects?
No, none at all. And I wouldn't tell you if there were.
To reach perfection, Guillaume's Calvados will need to age in oak barrels for at least 3 years. Like for his cider, it's a matter of patience and high standards.
I believe that if you don't go to a lot of trouble making a product, you won't give it the value it deserves. If you make cider like Coca-Cola, you can't sell it more expensively than Coca-Cola.
Another Normandy tradition, far from the apple orchards, is fishing. Still today, more than 600 boats fish off the coasts of the Channel. At Port-en-Bessin, Pierre Marie and his crew are getting ready to set sail. They usually fish for scallops, the white gold of Normandy. But they're off-season, so today they're hoping for a good catch of fish.
Trawling for fish is a question of luck. With scallops, we know pretty much what we'll come home with. We know the beds and the scallops are there. We come and go, but the scallops are always there.
Pierre Marie has been sailing the waters of Normandy as a professional fisherman for 10 years. It's at the helm of his boat that he feels most at home.
So much better than working in an office. This feels like a bit of freedom.
This trawler is Pierre's pride and joy. He had it built 3 years ago and he now employs 10 people. A childhood dream come true for this young boss, even though his early days at sea were a bit rough.
2 years of throwing up, then I got used to it.
You're a bit of a masochist then.
Well, it's the only job where you can earn a bit of money if you haven't been to school. Between school and work, I chose early on.
Fishermen are paid according to their catch, and competition in the waters of the Channel can be fierce.
If the English are out, we need to be fast. We don't have much time. They have trawlers 4 times the size of mine, so it's a bit like war.
As the fishermen return to port, in the nearby meadows, Pierre Aubril is taking his Normandy cows out to pasture.
You're a real beaut, you are.
They spend 9 months a year grazing the Cotentin Regional Natural Park, a wet zone which was once one of the largest marshes in Europe. Consequently, the soil is particularly fertile.
You can find 100 different plant species in one meadow. Grasses, legumes, medicinal herbs, and so on. That's all the nutrition they need.
Pierre's cows produce up to 1,200 liters of 100% organic milk every day.
Quick taste. Oh, it's excellent.
Part of this milk will be turned into the famous Normandy butter.
It's full of flavor, very easy to churn, it's very spreadable, and it has a deep color.
A very yellow butter that has brought renown to the small village of Isigny since the 17th century. And in 1934, in this factory, someone had the bright idea of turning surplus butter into caramels.
1 million de petits caramels sortent chaque jour de cette maison pour le plus grand plaisir des gourmets.
Since then, Izini caramels are enjoyed around the world, and the recipe never changes. Butter, sugar, milk, and cream. all local ingredients simmered in vats at 125 degrees Celsius. Once cooled, the caramel is worked by hand, then cut and wrapped. Unsalted or salted butter, flavored with Calvados or hazelnuts. They come in 25 different varieties.
Here we're making cream caramels with our local Izini cream. These are really good, but they cling to your teeth a bit.
Izini caramels are part and parcel of Normandy and its know-how. Like so many other specialties brought to us by local fishermen and farmers.